Welcome to Chapter 6 Biomolecules. Let's start with the basic. Part 1 Introduction and Carbohydrates. Biochemistry is biological chemistry that provides us the idea of the chemistry of living organisms and the molecular basis for changes taking place in plants, animals, and microbial cells. It develops the foundation for understanding all biological processes and communication within and between cells, as well as the chemical basis of inheritance and diseases in animals and plants. Chemical analysis of all living organisms indicates the presence of the most common elements like carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and others, with their respective content per unit mass of a living tissue. Chemically, all living organisms have three basic types of macromolecules, which are polymers of simple subunits called monomers. The polysaccharides, carbohydrates, polypeptides, proteins, and polynucleotides, nucleic acids, are the polymers of monosaccharides, amino acids, and nucleotides respectively. Lipids are water-insoluble and small molecular weight compounds as compared to macromolecules. Carbohydrates. The word carbohydrates means hydrates of carbon. They are also called saccharides. They are biomolecules made from just three elements, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, with their general formula CxH2OY. They contain hydrogen and oxygen in the same ratio as in water, 2:1. Carbohydrates can be broken down, oxidized, to release energy. Based on the number of sugar units, carbohydrates are classified into three types, namely monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides.
Part 2 Monosaccharides, glucose, galactose, fructose. Monosaccharides. These are the simplest sugars, having a crystalline structure, sweet taste, and are soluble in water. They cannot be further hydrolyzed into smaller molecules. They are the building blocks or monomers of complex carbohydrates. They have the general molecular formula CH2ON, where N can be 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Monosaccharides containing the aldehyde group are classified as aldoses, for example, glucose and xylose. Those with a ketone group are classified as ketoses, for example, ribulose and fructose. All monosaccharides are reducing sugars due to the presence of a free aldehyde or ketone group. These sugars reduce Benedict reagent since they are capable of transferring hydrogens, electrons, to other compounds, a process called reduction. Glucose. It is the most important fuel in living cells. Its concentration in the human blood is about 90 mg per 100 ml of blood. The small size and solubility in water of glucose molecules allow them to pass through the cell membrane into the cell. Energy is released when the molecules are metabolized by cellular respiration. Galactose. It looks very similar to glucose molecules. They can also exist in alpha and beta forms. Galactose reacts with glucose to form the disaccharide lactose. However, glucose and galactose cannot be easily converted into one another. Galactose cannot play the same role in respiration as glucose. Fructose. It is the fruit sugar, and chemically it is a ketohexose, but it has a 5-atom ring rather than a 6-atom ring. Fructose reacts with glucose to form sucrose.
Part 3 Disaccharides and polysaccharides. Disaccharides. Monosaccharides are rare in nature. Most sugars found in nature are disaccharides. A disaccharide is formed when two monosaccharides react by condensation reaction, releasing a water molecule. This process requires energy. A glycosidic bond forms and holds the two monosaccharide units together. Sucrose, lactose, and maltose are examples of disaccharides. Sucrose is a non-reducing sugar since it lacks a free aldehyde or ketone group. Lactose and maltose are reducing sugars. Disaccharides are soluble in water, but they are too big to pass through the cell membrane by diffusion. They are broken down in the small intestine during digestion. Thus formed monosaccharides then pass into the blood and through cell membranes into the cells. Monosaccharides are used very quickly by cells, but if a cell is not in need of all the energy released immediately, then it may get stored. Polysaccharides. Monosaccharides can undergo a series of condensation reactions, adding one unit after the other to the chain till a very large molecule, polysaccharide, is formed. This is called polymerization. Polysaccharides are broken down by hydrolysis into monosaccharides. The properties of a polysaccharide molecule depend on its length, branching, folding, and coiling. Part 4 starch, glycogen, and cellulose. Starch. Starch is a stored food in plants. It exists in two forms, amylose and amylopectin. Both are made from alpha-glucose. Amylose is an unbranched polymer of alpha-glucose. The molecules coil into a helical structure. It forms a colloidal suspension in hot water. Amylopectin is a branched polymer of alpha-glucose. It is completely insoluble in water. Glycogen. It is amylopectin with very short distances between the branching side chains. Glycogen is stored in the animal body, particularly in the liver and muscles, from where it is hydrolyzed as per need to produce glucose. Cellulose. It is a polymer made from beta-glucose molecules, and the polymer molecules are straight. Cellulose serves to form the cell walls in plant cells. These are much tougher than cell membranes. This toughness is due to the arrangement of glucose units in the polymer chain and the hydrogen bonding between neighboring chains. Biological significance of carbohydrates. It supplies energy for metabolism. Glucose is the main substrate for ATP synthesis. Lactose, a disaccharide present in milk, provides energy to lactating babies. Polysaccharides serve as structural components of cell membranes, cell walls, and reserve food as starch and glycogen.
Part 5. Lipids and fatty acids. Lipids. These are a group of substances with greasy consistency, with long hydrocarbon chains containing carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. In lipids, the hydrogen to oxygen ratio is greater than 2:1. Lipid is a broader term used for fatty acids and their derivatives. They are soluble in organic solvents. Fatty acids. Fatty acids are organic acids which are composed of a hydrocarbon chain ending in a carboxyl group. They can be saturated fatty acids with no double bonds between the carbon atoms of the hydrocarbon chain. Palmitic and stearic acids found in all animal and plant fats are examples of saturated fatty acids. Unsaturated fatty acids are with one or more double bonds between the carbon atoms of the hydrocarbon chain. Oleic acid found in nearly all fats and linoleic acid found in many seed oils are examples of unsaturated fatty acids. These fatty acids are basic molecules which form different kinds of lipids. Lipids may be classified as simple, compound, and derived lipids.
Part 6. Simple lipids, fats, and waxes. Simple lipids. These are esters of fatty acids with various alcohols. Fats and waxes are simple lipids. Fats are esters of fatty acids with glycerol. Triglycerides are 3 molecules of fatty acids and 1 molecule of glycerol. Generally, unsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature and are called oils. Unsaturated fatty acids are hydrogenated to produce fats. For example, Vanaspati ghee. Fats are a nutritional source with high calorific value. Fats act as reserved food materials. In plants, it is stored in seeds to nourish the embryo during germination. In animals, fat is stored in the adipocytes of the adipose tissue. Fats deposited in subcutaneous tissue act as an insulator and minimize loss of body heat. Fats deposited around the internal organs act as cushions to absorb mechanical shocks. Wax. Wax is another example of a simple lipid. They are esters of long-chain fatty acids with long-chain alcohols. They are found in blood, gonads, and sebaceous glands of the skin. Waxes are not as readily hydrolyzed as fats and are solid at ordinary temperatures. For example, wax in a beehive. Part 7. Proteins. Proteins. Proteins are large molecules containing amino acid units ranging from 100 to 3000. Amino acids are the basic building blocks of proteins. The amino acids are joined together by peptide bonds to form a polypeptide chain. The spiral configuration of the protein chain is held together by hydrogen bonds. The sequence of amino acids in the polypeptide chain determines the location of its bend or fold and the position of the formation of hydrogen bonds. Due to the formation of hydrogen bonds, peptide chains assume a secondary structure. In some proteins, 2 or more peptide chains are linked together by intermolecular hydrogen bonds. Such structures are called pleated sheets. In large proteins, such as myoglobin and enzymes, peptide chains are much looped, twisted, and folded back on themselves due to the formation of disulfide bonds. Such loops and bends give the protein a tertiary structure, whereas in hemoglobin, protein subunits are held together to form a quaternary structure. Proteins are extremely reactive and highly specific in behavior. Proteins are amphoteric in nature, that is, they act as both acids and bases. The behavior of proteins is strongly influenced by pH. Part 8. Classification of proteins. Classification of proteins. On the basis of structure, proteins are classified into three categories. Simple proteins. Simple proteins on hydrolysis yield only amino acids. These are soluble in one or more solvents. Simple proteins may be soluble in water. Histones of nucleoproteins are soluble in water. Globular molecules of histones are not coagulated by heat. Albumins are also soluble in water, but they get coagulated on heating. Albumins are widely distributed, for example, egg albumin, serum albumin, and legumulin of pulses. Conjugated proteins. Conjugated proteins consist of a simple protein united with some non-protein substance. The non-protein group is called a prosthetic group. For example, hemoglobin. Globin is the protein and the iron-containing pigment heme is the prosthetic group. Similarly, nucleoproteins have nucleic acids coupled with histone proteins. On this basis, proteins are classified as glycoproteins and mucoproteins. Mucoproteins are carbohydrate protein complexes, for example, mucin of saliva and heparin of blood. Lipoproteins are lipid protein complexes found in the brain, plasma membrane and milk. Derived proteins. These proteins are not found in nature as such. These proteins are derived from native protein molecules on hydrolysis. Metaproteins and peptones are derived proteins. Part 9. Nucleic acids. Nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are of two types: deoxyribose nucleic acid, DNA, and ribose nucleic acid, RNA. DNA is found in chloroplasts and mitochondria. DNA is the hereditary material in most organisms. The nucleic acids are among the largest of all molecules found in living beings. They contain three types of molecules: a 5-carbon sugar, phosphoric acid, and nitrogen-containing bases. These three join together to form a nucleotide of nucleic acid. Principally, bases are of two types: pyrimidine bases and purine bases. Pyrimidine bases are single-ring nitrogenous bases. Cytosine, thymine, and uracil are pyrimidines. Purines are double-ring nitrogenous bases. Adenine and guanine are purines. Structure of DNA. DNA is a very long chain made up of alternate sugar and phosphate groups. The sugar is always deoxyribose and it is always joined to the phosphate in the same way, so that the long chain is perfectly regular. Each sugar of the sugar-phosphate chain has a base attached to it. This unit, which consists of a sugar, phosphate, and a base, is called a nucleotide. A single strand of DNA consists of several thousands of nucleotides, one above the other. Part 10. DNA model, Watson and Crick. The single polynucleotide strand of DNA is not straight but helical in shape. The DNA molecule consists of two such helical polynucleotide chains which are complementary to each other. The two complementary polynucleotide chains of DNA are held together by weak hydrogen bonds. Adenine always pairs with thymine and guanine with cytosine. An adenine-thymine pair consists of 2 hydrogen bonds and a guanine-cytosine pair consists of 3 hydrogen bonds. Watson and Crick model. According to Watson and Crick, the DNA molecule consists of 2 strands twisted around each other in the form of a double helix. The 2 strands are supposed to be in opposite directions, so the end of one chain having the 3' end lies beside the 5' end of the other. One turn of the double helix of the DNA measures about 34 angstroms. It consists of paired nucleotides and the distance between 2 neighboring paired nucleotides is 3.4 angstroms. The diameter of the DNA molecule has been found to be 20 angstroms. Part 11. Ribonucleic acid, RNA. Ribonucleic acid. Another nucleic acid found in living organisms is ribonucleic acid. In most organisms, it is not found to be hereditary material, but in certain organisms, like the tobacco mosaic virus, it is the hereditary material. Like DNA, ribonucleic acid also consists of a polynucleotide chain with the difference that it consists of a single strand. In some cases, for example reovirus and Von tumor virus, RNA is double-stranded. The nucleotides of RNA have ribose sugar instead of deoxyribose sugar. In the case of RNA, uracil substitutes thymine of DNA. 3 types of cellular RNAs have been distinguished: messenger RNA, mRNA, ribosomal RNA, rRNA, and transfer RNA, tRNA. mRNA carries genetic information for arranging amino acids in a definite sequence. It is a linear polynucleotide. It accounts for 3% of cellular RNA. rRNA forms 50 to 60% part of ribosomes. It accounts for 80 to 90% of the cellular RNA. It is synthesized in the nucleus. tRNA. Molecules are much smaller, consisting of 70 to 80 nucleotides. Each tRNA can pick up a particular amino acid. It is shaped like a clover leaf.
Part 12. Enzymes. Enzymes. Thousands of different chemical reactions take place automatically at a given time in a tiny living cell. The reactions take place at body temperature. If these enzymes were not present in the cell, either the reactions would not occur, or if they occurred, they would occur at a very slow rate. The term enzyme is commonly used for all biocatalysts. Each enzyme catalyzes a small number of reactions, specifically perhaps only one. The substance upon which an enzyme acts is termed as the substrate. The enzymes which act within the cell in which they are synthesized are known as endoenzymes. If they act outside the cell in which they are synthesized, they are known as exoenzymes. These enzymes synthesized by living cells retain their catalytic property even when extracted from cells. Nature of enzymes. On the basis of chemical composition, enzymes can be put into two categories. Purely proteinaceous enzymes, for example, proteases that split protein, and conjugated enzymes, which are made up of a protein to which a non-protein prosthetic group is attached. The proteinaceous part of the enzyme is called apoenzyme. Apoenzyme with a prosthetic group together forms a holoenzyme. Part 13. Properties of enzymes. There are enzymes which require certain organic compounds and inorganic ions for their activity. The organic compounds that are tightly attached to the protein part are called coenzymes, whereas the inorganic ions which are loosely attached to the protein part are called cofactors. Properties of enzymes. Proteinaceous nature. All enzymes are basically made up of protein. Three-dimensional conformation. All enzymes have specific three-dimensional conformation. They have one or more active sites to which substrate, reactant combines. The points of the active site where the substrate joins with the enzyme is called the substrate binding site. Catalytic property. Enzymes are like inorganic catalysts and influence the speed of biochemical reactions, but themselves remain unchanged. After completion of the reaction and release of the product, they remain active to catalyze again. A small quantity of enzymes can catalyze the transformation of a very large quantity of the substrate into an end product. Specificity of action. The ability of an enzyme to catalyze one specific reaction and essentially no other is perhaps its most significant property. Each enzyme acts upon a specific substrate or a specific group of substrates. Sensitivity. Enzymes are very sensitive to temperature and pH.
Part 14. Nomenclature and classification of enzymes. Nomenclature of enzymes. Enzymes are named by adding the suffix ase to the name of the substrate on which they act. For example, protease, sucrase, and nuclease. The enzymes can be named according to the type of function they perform. For example, dehydrogenase removes hydrogen, carboxylase adds CO2. Some enzymes are named according to the source from which they are obtained. For example, papain from papaya. Classification of enzymes. Oxidoreductases catalyze oxidation and reduction reactions by the transfer of hydrogen and/or oxygen. Transferases catalyze the transfer of certain groups between two molecules. Hydrolases catalyze hydrolytic reactions. This class includes amylases, proteases, lipases. Lyases involved in elimination reactions resulting in the removal of a group of atoms from a substrate molecule to leave a double bond. Isomerases catalyze structural rearrangements within a molecule. Ligases or synthetases catalyze the covalent linkage of the molecules utilizing the energy obtained from the hydrolysis of an energy-rich compound like ATP. Part 15. Mechanism of enzyme action. The basic mechanism by which enzymes catalyze chemical reactions begins with the binding of the substrate to the active site on the enzyme. The active site is the specific region of the enzyme which combines with the substrate. The binding of the substrate to the enzyme causes changes in the distribution of electrons in the chemical bonds of the substrate and ultimately causes the reactions that lead to the formation of products. Lock and key model. The specific action of an enzyme with a single substrate can be explained using a lock and key analogy. In this analogy, the lock is the enzyme and the key is the substrate. Only the correctly sized key, substrate, fits into the keyhole, active site of the lock enzyme. Induced fit model. This model states that the approach of a substrate induces a conformational change in the enzyme.
Unlike the lock and key model, the induced fit model shows that enzymes are flexible structures in which the active site continually reshapes by its interactions with the substrate. Km value. The Michaelis-Menten constant Km is defined as the substrate concentration to produce half of the maximum velocity in an enzyme-catalyzed reaction. A low Km value indicates a strong affinity between enzyme and substrate. Part 16. Factors affecting enzyme activity. Concentration of substrate. Increase in the substrate concentration gradually increases the velocity of enzyme activity within the limited range of substrate levels. A rectangular hyperbola is obtained when velocity is plotted against the substrate concentration. Enzyme concentration. The rate of an enzymatic reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of the enzyme. The rate of reaction increases with the increasing concentration of the enzyme. Temperature. The enzymatic reaction occurs best at or around 37 degrees Celsius, which is the average normal body temperature in homeotherms. The rate of chemical reaction is increased by a rise in temperature, but this is true only over a limited range. Enzymes rapidly denature at temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius. The activity of enzymes is reduced at low temperatures. The temperature at which the enzymes show maximum activity is called optimum temperature. Effect of pH. Similar to temperature, there is also a pH at which an enzyme will catalyze the reaction at the maximum rate. Every enzyme has a different optimum pH value. Other substances. The enzyme's action is also increased or decreased in the presence of some other substances such as coenzymes, activators, and inhibitors.
Part 17. Metabolism. Concept of metabolism. Metabolism is the sum of the chemical reactions that take place within each cell of a living organism and provide energy for vital processes and for synthesizing new organic material. It involves a continuous process of breakdown and synthesis of biomolecules through chemical reactions. Catabolic pathways lead to the formation of simpler structures from complex biomolecules. For example, when we eat wheat, bread, or chapati, our gastrointestinal tract digests, hydrolyzes the starch to glucose units with the help of enzymes and releases energy in the form of ATP. Anabolic pathways, also called biosynthetic pathways. These involve the formation of more complex biomolecules from a simpler structure. For example, the synthesis of glycogen from glucose and protein from amino acids. These pathways consume energy. Metabolic pool. It is the reservoir of biomolecules in the cell on which enzymes can act to produce useful products as per the need of the cell. The concept of a metabolic pool is significant in cell biology because it allows one type of molecule to change into another type. The balance between catabolism and anabolism maintains homeostasis in the cell as well as in the whole body. Part 18. Secondary metabolites. Economic importance. Secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites from natural sources have made a significant contribution for millennia. In modern medicine, drugs developed from secondary metabolites have been used to treat infectious diseases, cancer, hypertension, and inflammation. Secondary metabolites are small organic molecules produced by organisms that are not essential for their growth, development, and reproduction. Several types of bacteria, fungi, and plants produce secondary metabolites. Classification. A simple way of classifying secondary metabolites includes three main groups. Terpenes, made from mevalonic acid that is composed mainly of carbon and hydrogen. Phenolics, made from simple sugars containing benzene rings, hydrogen, and oxygen. Nitrogen-containing compounds, extremely diverse class, may also contain sulfur. Uses. Morphine was the first alkaloid isolated from the plant Papaver somniferum. It is used as a pain reliever and cough suppressant. Secondary metabolites like alkaloids, nicotine, and cocaine are widely used for recreation and stimulation. Flavors of secondary metabolites improve our food preference. Characteristic flavors and aroma of cabbage and its relatives are caused by nitrogen and sulfur-containing chemicals, glucosinolates, which protect these plants from many pests. Tannins are added to wines and chocolate for improving astringency. Since most secondary metabolites have antibiotic properties, they are also used as food preservatives.